Yeah. Did you think of these yourself, or what are we talking here?
No, I sent out a thing and some people sent back some questions for you.
For some reason, I don't believe you. Phrases like, I sent out a thing and some people sent whatever you just said.
Yeah.
Some questions back for me. Okay, that sounds great. I love that.
All right.
What's so funny?
I just, I love having fun, man.
Yeah, same.
I know. That's what I love about you. You're serious, but you're not, you're not beyond going a little bit over the top.
I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that.
As long as it's in the realm of believability.
Right. As opposed to, I sent some things to some people who sent some things back.
All right. Here we are.
Yeah.
Coach Jeremy Shear. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Mike. How are you?
I could not be better. It's a little gloomy here, but that's time to winterize and get your shit done. Pull the hoodie up and jump in the cold lake. That's what I like.
Same thing we've got going over here. Gray and cloudy and foggy and bland this morning.
Yeah, the gray blanket is out.
You got it.
Well, I sent out a thing and I got some questions back for you from fans fans of the podcast, maybe.
Must be. I love that.
So let's get right into it, man. I'm going to put the questions up and you can read them as I go here.
Ooh,
our first question is from Otter Finn. He just wants to know, what's your favorite race to date and why?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It's a fair one, fun one to start off with, I thought.
Yeah, I like it. You know what? I would say that answer just recently changed for me. I, over the past year, started doing some guide running for a blind runner, he wanted to run a marathon. Was his big goal. And so we just ran the Detroit Marathon in October of this year. And so that was a great experience, right? Just not even the race, just the whole experience. We ran together about twice a week for a year to kind of get him trained up and ready. And running with him, kind of getting to meet a new friend and know somebody well, and then going through that experience with him, right? Running his first marathon. He set a half marathon PR during our race, so that was big, and then way under his goal time for the marathon. So yeah, that was a blast. That was super rewarding for me. So yeah, I'd say as of late, that's my favorite race.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you guys only ran twice a week, or he did?
He ran more. I ran with him twice a week. So he would run with some other guides throughout the week. But yeah, we'd run twice a week. He'd run another 2 or 3 days a week and mix in some other stuff where he could.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's the favorite race. And that's you thinking about others, as you always do. Let's see. Here we got a question from Pino Grayshaw. Any organizational or motivational tips to help someone stay consistent through their holidays? You're a good organizer. I know that. You're a busy man. You're a busy man, and you got to keep it tight. I mean, every time we do something, you're like, I got the window here.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's another good question. And this time of year, right, we get a lot more wrinkles in the schedule. We get a lot more one-off things, right? If you've got kids, it's the school parties and holiday programs, and it's the family get-togethers and the holidays and all that stuff. So, I guess for me, it is, I tend to look at my week ahead of time, look at, okay, here are the workouts, here's how they're laid out, here's where it looks like they fit in my schedule, make a plan going in. But then especially this time of year, you're November, December for sure, just give yourself some grace, give yourself a little space. It's okay to miss, so we're going to call success, I think, in November and December about 80%, 80-85%. If we miss 1 or 2 workouts a week, let it go. It's not the time of year to get upset or down about that, or squeeze that workout in, and then it adds so much stress to your life that it's not worth it, right? So if you have to let one go, just let it go, and we'll get hyper focused and real serious closer to race day.
Yeah, for sure. And today we just sent out the December rules, so it's right up that alley. It's kind of, yeah, I mean, I always say this time of year, if you can stay in the game, just stay in the game, because you'll be ahead of most people. A lot of people just kind of let it fall to shit right now.
Exactly. We're not looking for progress or huge leaps and bounds. Yeah, if you can stay level or only lose a few percent in fitness and things like that, we're going to call that a win. Because like you said, against the field, against anybody else, that's going to put you way ahead for sure.
Yeah. Oh, excellent answer. All right, we're going to go back to your racing here.
Sure.
How do you stay calm the night before a big race? Susan Rothschilds would like to know.
That, I would say two things. One, it's just going to come with experience, right? If it's your first race, or you've only got a couple of races under your belt, or maybe it's your first at a certain distance, your first half or your first full, you're going to have those nerves. You're going to be excited. You're going to be nervous. You're going to have that anticipation, that adrenaline. It's to be expected. What I a lot of times will go back to, especially as you've got more experience and more racing, is just think back over your training, right? If it's your first 70.3 and it's the day before or 2 days before, the night before, and you're starting to get, those nerves and that stress and everything, and you're getting real anxious, right? Just think about the training you've done. Just look back and say, hey, over the last 4 months or 6 months or 12 months, I put in a lot of days of training, a lot of hours of training. I've done the best I can. There's nothing I can do to change my situation now, right? There's nothing you can do the night before the race that's going to change how you perform realistically the next day. And just have some peace of mind in that thought. Hey, it is what it is. Tomorrow is really, I look at it more like a day of fun, right? A day of celebration. I made it here. I'm on the start line. Let's have some fun and see what I can do. And just try and relax and let it go. It is what it is at that point, right?
That's true, man. Yeah, that's all you can do. How do you get in that calm state of mind? And I think, looking at your past work is definitely one way to do it, unless you haven't really worked that hard. And then you got to figure out something else, right?
Then you can be a little nervous, and that's on you. Learn for the next one.
Like I always say, emotions are emotions and they're energy. You just got to figure out how to use them in the right direction. If you're really nervous, that's a lot of energy. So just put it into the breathing and the muscles. All right. All right. Now, since, we're in November, December.
Sure.
You got a lot going on, maybe besides triathlon. You can't be always focused. I mean, it's tough to focus 12 months a year. So the next question here is from Cynthia Feld. What's your favorite thing to do outside of triathlon? Maybe it's Christmas parties.
Yeah, Christmas shopping and Christmas parties. No, I've got 3 boys and they're super active, right? So the first thing that comes to mind is just spending time with them and at their events, right? So we've always got basketball games going, football, baseball, right? Bowling. There's 2 or 3 sports going year round, it seems like, for us. So yeah, this time of year when you can be a little bit more laid back about the training and a little more chill, I just try to enjoy that, be there when I can, enjoy the kids, enjoy the athletics. Aside from that, I do like to read quite a bit. The weather's nice. My wife and I like to spend a fair amount of time at the beach. So that's not a November, December thing to do. But you got to have that time away from triathlon for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right. So you've been coaching for a while now and things are going good.
Yeah.
So Ivan would like to know, what's been your biggest challenge as a coach, Ivan Keenley?
Ooh, Sebastian's brother.
Could be his brother.
Yeah. Interesting.
If in fact that's the same spelling, I'm not sure, but
it's close enough for me. Biggest challenge is, I think getting to know each athlete individually. You're meeting a new person, right? So we've got to figure out, okay, what type of personality do they have, first of all, right? Are they real analytical? Are they very serious? do they like to joke around and have fun? And so, yeah, the big thing is those first 2, 3, 4 months is kind of building that bond and figuring out exactly who you are working with and who you're coaching and how they like to operate and what works best for them. Right. Some people just want the bullet points and the facts and just hit me with it, just right between the eyes. Some people want a little bit more of a friend, a little more banter and fun, and I'm fine with both of those, right? Or anything in the middle.
Good at it. Yeah, you're good at both.
I appreciate that.
You're a bantering technician, is what I heard.
Stop it. But yeah, once you kind of figure out who you are working with, how they like to communicate and how they like to work together, that makes achieving those goals and kind of getting going in the right direction a lot easier for sure.
Very nice. I like that. You're a good runner. You just did a marathon, right?
Sure.
So, what are some tips or techniques you can share to help someone become a better runner? Asks Mark Scott.
Mark Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of great listeners to this podcast here.
Yes, I know. This might be Dave's brother.
Yeah. The thing that's helped me, I would say over time with running, number one is frequency, for sure, right? And so and that goes with, swimming and cycling, anything realistically. If you can do something more days than not, you're generally just going to get better, right? You're going to get used to it. Your body's going to kind of figure it out. The other thing for running is I found that, and I was very against this for a while. I found that trail running has definitely helped me too, for a couple of reasons. One, I think it builds strength for sure, on the different terrain, uphills, downhills, and then the uneven ground and terrain, right? You get a focus and footing and some of those muscles that kind of support those steps. I feel like that's helped me out a lot. I used to be strictly a road runner, and now I've started to enjoy trails. And it forces you to slow down, and it forces you to really pace based on your effort, right? Your heart rate and your RPE. And so I would say, yeah, run frequently. Doesn't have to be long, but more days than not. And if you don't, I would say get on some trails and just get off the treadmill, get off the road, check it out, and see what that does for your running for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. That is a great answer.
Thanks.
Makes you stronger. I mean, because really, if you think about running, whenever I think about running, if I'm running trails a lot or out here I do a lot of sand, it just makes you stronger. I mean, I think becoming a better runner is a stronger runner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times when you're
sore,
when your form breaks down, it's because you don't have the strength to continue to hold that form, right? You obviously know how to run. You've been running 5 miles and your form breaks down, or 10 miles and your form breaks down, or 20, right? If you can add that strength piece, and whether that's hill repeats or trails or whatever, that's going to stretch out that time before that form breaks down.
Absolutely. All right, good answer, buddy. Kind of feel like this is the Wheel of Fortune or something.
Yeah, what do we got next?
Let's go. What thoughts do you have for someone about to do their first 70.3, Brian Jakes?
Brian Jakes, I would say just get in the right headspace. I would shy away from expectations, and I would just try to race with a lot of gratitude. I would try to be happy, and I would try to enjoy that day. Brian or somebody may have a vision of, okay, this is my first 70.3. It's been forefront of my mind for 6 months or 12 months or years, right? Sometimes these goals you're thinking of for years. And you get to that day, right? It's a big day. We've been working on this for a long time. But you never really know how it's going to go, right? Until you've done it, and until you've done the distance, you really can't say, hey, it should go like this, or last time it went like this, or I'd like to come in this time. So I would say, yeah, just try to enjoy yourself as much as you can. Take in the atmosphere, the energy, the crowd, the other athletes. Have a great time. Be grateful you're on the starting line and you get to race. See what happens. And then when you're about to do your second 70.3, then we can set some more specific goals.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, that's good stuff, because I think just believing you can do it is so huge. I mean, for a guy who came up from the 5Ks and the sprints and Olympic, when you get to, 70 point, I remember my first Olympic and they had a 70.3 going on at the same time. And I just thought that was insane. at the time. I mean, I was just like,
Yeah.
there's no way,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things, endurance is just kind of, staying in your pocket and keep it rolling, it's, you can do it. And especially if you've actually done relative training to what's going on, but
For sure.
But yeah, it does seem like a big step. Yeah.
Well, and I guess the other thing I would fall back on, right, is you can think, okay, hundreds of thousands or millions of people or whatever the event is have done this in the past, right?
Yep.
So to get back to what you said, I remember the first time I did a 70.3, and then I thought about a full, and I thought, like, I have to double that, like I have to do twice all of what I just did. I thought, yeah, I would die. I can't do that. That's ridiculous. But then, you roll it around in your mind a little bit and you think, well, look, thousands of people do this at all these races all the time. And they're just humans. They just put in the time and they just put in the training, and it's possible, right? And then you get to whatever that next level is for you, whether that's, 5 to 10K or 10K to half and all that stuff. It's possible. People out there are doing it. You know what I mean? So kind of lean on that thought process too. I think helps me for anything longer, that next stepping stone, right? Nobody's superhuman, right? We're all on the same path. They're just a little bit further ahead. Just pick a plan and stick to it and see what happens.
Dude, I love that, man. That's almost like the old go watch it first, and you'll see the types of people that remind you of yourself, and you'll be like, oh, this isn't a superhuman event. It's just people doing stuff.
Exactly. Normal people just doing crazy stuff. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. Number, I think 9. You're almost in the...
Already.
Yeah, it's been really fun here. Do you have any suggestions for getting a good night's sleep from Terry Van Winkle?
I would say I am a terrible person to ask about this.
I thought for sure you would have a good one here.
Well, listen. And it's not because I don't get a good night's sleep. I think I sleep very well, and I don't have a super secret sleep routine, right, or bedtime routine or anything like that. I guess the couple of things for me are I try to keep my time to bed and my time up in the morning relatively the same day to day, right? Those huge fluctuations where one night you're up 3 hours later and then you're trying to go to bed 3 hours earlier and all that stuff. I don't think that's very easy on your body. And then second thing is really I stay away from like caffeine basically after 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning, right? So I know there's a lot of people that, whether it's pop or, coffee and other stuff, they'll stretch that out through the day. I'll do 1 or 2 cups of coffee early and that's it, right? So try to avoid that caffeine and try to be in bed about the same time every night, up about the same time every day.
Yeah, I think that rhythm and routine is perfect, but I'm the worst at it, so I can't say for sure. But yeah, I agree because and also it's just one of those things where I think that's why a lot of people continue to do this sport, is because you got to have physical activity during the day, because if it's your mind that's getting tired, sometimes that can be going crazy at night and keeping you up. So I think it's good to be physical and do things that are going to make you literally be tired enough,
Yeah, I agree. I get in bed and I'm typically asleep within literally a few minutes, right? 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's very rare that I lay there with a mind racing or just can't sleep, because like you said, I'm tired, right? I've had a busy day. I've done a lot, and it is what it is. It's time to shut it down and fall asleep.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at a man with a clear conscience.
Yes, that is it. That's it.
All right. All right, buddy, let's finish it up here, man.
Yeah, what do we got?
Your last question is from Tina Fred. What's on your bucket list, if anything? You have something out there you're thinking about?
Oh boy, I do.
Yeah.
Actually it is. It is.
Okay.
No, here's what else. Maybe we make the big announcement right now. I do keep a list, right, of things I'd like to do in the future. Both endurance sports and otherwise, right? And some are just I think would be fun, cool experiences, stuff like that. I've got a couple of them. Bike ride, I'd like to ride around Lake Michigan. I think would be a cool bike ride. I'd also like to do one around the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I think would be awesome. Have some runs on the radar and a few different things. I guess what I would say is, and again, maybe my wife will watch this, and this will be a big splash in the Shear household. The one I'm eyeing for the 2025 season is a very long trail race up north in Michigan. I think I'm going to take a stab at my first 100-mile trail run.
100-mile?
Yeah. Yes. Technically, I'm signed up. It's in the calendar. Yeah, and it's on the radar. So I think that's the big one I'm going to try and cross off next year.
Well, I mean, you just ran a marathon. It's not that much more. It's only 3 more marathons, essentially.
Yeah, piece of cake, right?
Nothing. No problem.
Nothing to it.
Northern Michigan, would that be part of the ice trail or something? Is it a loop thing, or is it a long all the way?
Yeah, so actually you run from actually lake to lake. So from the West Coast to the East Coast, all the way across the state. So it's about 104 miles it takes to get you there. But yeah, you start essentially touching one lake and you finish at another one.
Now,
yeah,
that is something that I really would look forward to watching you do.
I mean, you know, if you're looking for something to do next October, let me know.
It's in October?
Yeah, perfect time.
Man, that might be no, that's not a good time.
Yeah, it's perfect. Absolutely. You're going to be in good shape after Wisconsin.
Who says I'm doing Wisconsin?
Well, I mean, we kind of know your MO, so you're going to kind of play around like you're not sure, and then, you know, come late spring, early summer, you know, you'll commit to doing Wisconsin. We know how it goes.
Yeah. You know, the big bucket list. It's not a bucket because I've already done it, but I've always wanted to go back and do Schwambigen Fat Tire Festival, which is
okay.
40-mile mountain bike race up in on the Berkey, partially on the Berkey Trail, and but it's the week after Wisconsin. And could I do it? Yeah, for sure. But man, I don't know. Maybe that's the whole bucket list: is the Ironman followed by the Fat Tire Festival.
There you go. Yeah, one after the other.
And then go down to do Chattanooga the next week.
That's right. And then you just roll over here and we'll knock out that 100-mile.
Wait, it's a run or a ride?
Yeah, it's a run.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna happen.
Well, never say never.
My run-walk system will be put to the test.
You know what? And part of it is we talked about that marathon in October, and that's part of it for me, right? Because the runner I was running with runs at a slightly slower pace than I do. And so I realized finishing that marathon, I felt great, right? I don't want to tell you I could have run 100 miles that day. That's certainly not the case. But it goes to show that, okay, you know, if I slow down off my kind of normal long distance run pace, 90 seconds a mile, you know, and I can finish a marathon feeling really pretty fine, you know, pretty good. I felt like I could have kept that up for a long time, right? And then kind of combine that with, you know, a year's worth of training headed into this. So yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Okay, I feel good about it too for you.
Yeah. Now come ask me in August or September, and we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have any more questions for Coach Jeremy, here's his email. Shoot it out to him. And questions about life or running or coaching, there it is. Is that correct email?
That is the correct email address. Yeah, if anybody has any questions about any experiences, coaching, how that works, reach out by email. That's a great way to get me, and I'd be happy to chat for sure.
All right. Susan Rothschild's just texted me.
Yeah.
She had one more question about.
She's got a follow-up question.
Banking system or something.
Yeah. We can't start that right now. We got a time limit on this recording here. We can't get into the economy or banking or any of that yet.
Okay. Well, at some point maybe we'll do that because that's your expertise, or at least part of that. One wing of everything.
Sure.
A couple wings of the same bird, whatever you want to call it. We will. We'll end it here unless you have any questions for me or you want to, say anything else. I think we've said enough.
I think you did a great job. I appreciate all the listener questions. I think they were great. And yeah, if anybody needs anything, reach out. I'm happy to help.
Okay, buddy. I appreciate you joining us today on 10 Questions.
You got it. Thanks, Mike. It was a good time.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, talk to you later.